Welcome back to Expedition Builds. In this video, we're going to be adding some performance to my 2-liter Jeep JL. And to do that, we're going to use a Superchip's product called Flashpaq. Flashpaq is a handheld tuner. This mod does require a PCM swap. But let's walk through some of the promises that Superchips is making with their Flashpaq. 20 horsepower and 25 foot-pounds of torque. Peak gains, 65 horsepower and 90 foot-pounds of torque of max gains. Looking forward to seeing what that feels like. Improved transmissions, shift strategies, broader torque curves that come in lower in the RPM range, which should make the 2-liter that much more drivable. They've also are promising better throttle response and turbo spool up. Now, along with all that, with the performance side of it, it does give us access to change some of the calibrations that we like to do on our Jeeps once we get them built. Things like change tire size, change axle ratios, manage the TPMS settings. So this looks like it's going to be a great mod, but let's not take their word for it. Let's get this installed and see what it can do on the 2-liter turbo. Let's jump in. Here's a quick look at what you're going to get with your Flashpaq tuner. Inside the box, you'll find the tuner, security bypass module, update cable, as well as instructions. And here's a look at the features of what we can expect with this tune. Alright, let's get started on the install. Step 1. Grab your trim removal tool, and we're going to remove this kick panel underneath the steering column. It's held on with 6 clips. Here's a look at it from the back side. Next, we're going to install the bypass module. We need to locate the gateway module. It's located directly above the OBD2 port, as seen in this pic taken from the install instructions. Release the harness from the gateway module and plug into the new bypass module, as shown here. Once you have the bypass module plugged in, tuck it up under the dash. We're done with that. Now it's time to plug the tuner into the vehicle using the OBD2 port. Now we're ready to read the stock PCM. With the tuner plugged into the OBD2 port, we're ready to read the stock PCM. Once plugged in, the tuner will prompt you with instruction. Please follow those. On the tuner, select Tune, then select Tune Vehicle. The screen will display Establishing Communications, then Gathering Data from the Factory ECU. Please wait. Your last prompt should read, Successfully retrieved data from Factory ECU. The PCM data has now been successfully retrieved and is on your tuner. Now you can unplug the tuner from the Jeep. Log on to superchips.com and update your device. Navigate to the Update tab and then proceed to download Update Agent 1.0 software and connect your Flashpaq. Next, you will need to proceed to the website location provided in your instructions and submit your vehicle information and request an unlocked PCM. Now it's time to get that unlocked PCM that Superchip sent you installed in the Jeep. Let's get started on that. Alright, step 1, disconnect negative from the battery. Here's a look at the PCM. It's located on the driver's side of the vehicle. The PCM is held in place by 4 10mm bolts as shown by the red arrows. Step 2 is to take these connectors off the PCM. Press the black button. That's going to release. Pull this gray lever all the way down and it will pry the connector up for you. Simply set that out of the way. Now we're ready to get at the 4 bolts that hold the PCM in place. Alright, now getting close to getting all 4 bolts removed. That bottom front one is probably the trickiest of all. It's just hard to reach with the all the coolant hoses that are in the way. But this should be number 4. And with that, we will lift up my stock PCM. And there it is. Okay, so now we've got this out. Time to swap in the unlocked PCM and get the tune loaded. Alright, now it's time to reverse the process and get the unlocked PCM installed back into the Jeep. It's a little tight in here, but it's not undoable. So just take your time. All of this is 10 millimeter. Start by plugging the tuner into the OBD2 port. Tune vehicle, here we go. Alright, we've got signal transferring factory data to unlocked ECU. Please wait. Shut the AC off. Okay, we're powered down. Waiting for vehicle to power down. Please wait. It's tune stage now, so we got, let's press tune to select that. Turn the ignition on. Ignition's on. Tune vehicle. Establishing communications with the vehicle. Please wait, it says. All right, this looks promising. Reading file 1 of 2. And you can see the percent. So it looks like we're beginning to load the new Superchip's tune onto the unlocked PCM. Let's see how this goes. And as you can see, as you're going through this, we're getting all kinds of warning lights on the dash all over the place, things flashing. That's normal. As you can see, we're almost 100% on this first file. Let's see what we get next. All right, reading file 2. All right, you can see we're just finishing up reading file 2 of 2. Reading additional vehicle information is the prompt. Reading TCM file 1 of 1. All right, so reading TCM file. Let's see what we get next here. All right, so there's our tunes. There's Performance 93 at the top. I'm going to start with Performance 91 until I verify I can run 93 octane gas. So I'll select that. 91 octane higher fuel. Okay, press OK to confirm. Confirm. Customize options. Let's take a look at that. Okay, great. So gear ratio. We want to get in here, and I'm running 488s.
Right there. Okay. Building the tuning file. Please wait. Okay. It feels like we're getting close here. Okay, so after it built the tuning file, you get to this screen. Install a Performance 91 file. So, yes, let's install. Establishing communications with the vehicle. Please wait. Let's see how long this takes. All right, so now we're programming the ECU, file 1 of 1. This is moving pretty quick. All right, so this is the programming ECU file, so it's just about to be finished, complete. Verifying program, resetting the vehicle, please wait. Let's see what we get next. Preparing to program transmission file. All right, very cool. All right, so now we're going to work on the transmission software. I said very cool because, you know, when we were looking at the specs on the Flashpaq, Superchips talked about reprogramming shift profiles and shift strategies, so to run with each of their tunes. So I like that because it's telling me it's a very comprehensive tune. They're not just saying, let's just dial up the boost a little bit and make a little more power. They really are looking for better drivability, and of course power, torque curves, where the torque curves come in, RPM wise, and how that coordinates with the transmission shift points is all part of, you know, the overall performance. So very cool to see this happening. I cannot wait to get this out on the road and see how this feels. All right, transmission 100%. Turn the key off. Okay. Okay. Turn ignition on. Turn ignition off. Waiting for vehicle to power down. Please wait. Okay, so that was what, 3 cycles we just went through of on off. All right, this is cool. So I'm in running options now. Engine idle, sway bar unlock, line lock. Didn't realize that. That's pretty cool. Rock crawl lock, auto park disable. So let's go back and just poke around here. We did gear size. Now I didn't do TPS. Let's take a look in here. I want to adjust my values a little bit. Okay. Okay. So low pressure, let's put that at 27. That should keep. All right, good, we're updated. Nice. All right, some of the other things we have, daytime running lights, those should be on. I will check those. The DRL location, DRL dropout, fog light dropout, halo lights. So, and one touch lane change, that's on. Seatbelt minder. Wow, fun. There's a lot of great stuff on here we're going to play with. So we will start a few of these. But for right now, let's get this thing started up. Boy, some great stuff. Okay. All right, I'll shut it off. I've got the tuner unplugged, so it's off, and let's do our first start. See how the dashboard looks. All right, right now I don't have, I'm not showing any warning lights at all, so that's good. I'm gonna let it warm up, and then we're gonna take it out for a drive, see how she feels with the 91 octane tune. So stand by for that. Okay, so just swapped in the new PCM. That went well. I'll show you guys how to do that. Also just loaded the new tune, programmed the new PCM. So this is going to be the first trip out of the driveway to see how the new Jeep feels. I'm running the I selected the 91 octane tune, which I think, if I remember right, was just a shade under their 93 in terms of performance, something like 18 horsepower and 24 foot-pounds of torque at peak. So let's see how it feels. I'm very curious. I really don't know what to expect. I will say that, I typically run a throttle pedal controller. I like a little more sensitivity. I have that off, so I am wanting to see if we're going to get increased throttle spool up, increased throttle sensitivity, and, well, hell, here we go. Let's just see what the 91 octane tune feels like, right, straight away. All right, so I'm also curious, I don't know the actual answer to this question. Does any of the Jeep take any learning with the new tunes? I know sometimes they do. So this is, like I said, this is the first minute of driving it. Okay, and what do I feel? All right, operating temperature is normal. It feels like it's got a little more oomph. There's a lot more there, actually. All right, about a quarter way into the throttle, I'm gonna say that it's definitely got more hit at the bottom, and it comes in sooner. And let me drive this for a few more minutes, but it does feel like it's more immediate. Yeah, it's just a little more. It's more robust right on the bottom. This feels great. I have to say, it feels great. It feels like we're just making more power now, and I'm not waiting for it. It's right there at the bottom, which feels. Oh yeah, it's pulling a lot harder. Okay, all right, you guys. That's your question. That was my first wide open throttle, and it's got a good hit. There's definitely more power. I gotta say, this is fun as hell to be in the same vehicle, and then be able to feel like what the hell did you just do to it? It feels great. So anyways, let's put a few more miles on it. I want to break it in just a little bit more and see what the overall drivability feels like. So be right back. All right, let's go just kind of a stop sign to stop sign, make sure that we're safe, everything's clear, and we're just going to pin it and see what it feels like. Here we go. Yeah, it's definitely making more power. It's a lot quicker. The Jeep feels great, I gotta say. Really, really great. Wow, so far the first mile and a half, I'd say the guys at Superchips did their homework. This feels great. Even me flogging it like I'm doing, temperature still right there in the normal range. There's no hesitation. It's just got a richer torque curve, comes on a little sooner, and so the net result of this is just, it feels a lot more drivable. And also, now what I've got to kind of pay a little bit of attention to is I want to see if I can detect how the tranny's operating. So I'm gonna do. I'll drive for a few more miles in various situations and see if we get a feel for any difference on the way the throttle inputs and the transmission is operating with this tune. So be right back for that. Wow, this feels this feels awesome. All right, so just put a couple miles on it. It's evening time, and I'm right in the middle of rush hour in the village I live in. So trying to find some open road, but I just switched my throttle controller, my Ultimate 9 throttle controller back on. I wasn't absolutely certain that it was going to play nice with everything, but so far it's functioning like it normally does. So I like that unit. It gives me, it's very tunable. You know, I can do stuff in the rocks that slows everything way down, or I can have it hit pretty hard and come in pretty fast. So I'm back to my normal day-to-day setting, which is Ultimate 1, which is just, it's a nice throttle tip in. Right now it's playing very well with the new 91 tune I'm running. I will say that I want to hit this again wide open. You could definitely feel the transmission strategy is a little different. It's going to hold the downshift a little longer when I'm really getting on it, and I'm hearing a whoosh for the first time as it spools up, which, you know, I'm running that engine cold air intake that uses my factory box, and that was another great mod. I'm not sure why they stopped selling it for the 2-liter, but anyhow, typically it sounds very stock. It's very quiet, but I just noticed that when I'm getting on it, I can hear a lot more intake. Oh yeah, you can definitely hear it just growling out there. So that's kind of interesting. Like I said, I'm going to run this Ultimate 9 throttle controller for a few miles and see if we get any hiccups at all. But wow, this is a great tune. I gotta say, and there's that shift. The shifts are a little firmer too, I feel. It just feels like they sharpen things up a little bit, you know what I mean? I got more power. The transmission hangs on to the shifts a little longer. I did read that they turned up the PSI, the pressure on the shift points, so it comes in just a little bit firmer. But I like the feel of it. It feels super dialed in, and it's got a little bit more edge to it in all the right ways. It's not like it's feeling crazy or wild. It's just there's more power to work with. It's so usable and feels so good. Here we go again. Wow. And you can just feel it when it's shifting gears. It's leaping forward as that turbo is spooled up and just pulling hard. This feels great. I gotta say, this feels really, really great. So let me put a few miles on it. You can see I'm kind of over the moon with it right now. So put a few miles on it. This is my daily driver, so we'll be in this every day. I want to try a few things and see how we feel. But right now, just straight off the top, how do I feel about it? This is pretty incredible that this is my same setup with just this tune on there, because this thing drives so much better. It's so much more robust. Okay, that's it for the first report. Talk to you guys soon. Okay, about 3 to 5 miles on this tune so far. Jeep's running great. I want to try something here. I've got the windows down. Let's see it. Yeah, sound quality might be a little whack, but let's see. Alright, I wonder if you can pick up the intake whoosh that's happening now. That is brand new. Much more pronounced. I just think that turbo is spooling up a little faster and pulling a lot more air. I'm hearing it for the first time. You also heard me chirp the 37s on launch and then on that first to second gear shift. So I think that is, like I said, the transmission is holding on to that a little bit and shifting a little bit firmer. So this thing feels, it's got a whole different character to it now. I love it. It just feels like I've been upgraded. Okay, we've had the new tunes installed in the Jeep it's been a little bit over a week, so I've been using it every day. which gave me a really good basis for how it all functions, how it all feels. Currently, I'm running the 93 octane tune, which is the highest output. I got to tell you, be honest, honestly, it feels great. So let's kind of recap what we've noticed in the week and running the tunes and getting used to this is, I mentioned earlier that they have broadened out the torque curves and they've had the power come in a lot earlier in the RPM range, which means it's right where you need it and want it for daily drivability. And I think, honestly, the thing I love most about this is not only, of course, the increased power and the pep, the overall drivability, the shift strategies have been changed on the transmission, so it's shifting better. All of it just works seamlessly together. But the drivability, that ability to have the power down low, the torque right where you need it, right where you drive the most, has just felt perfect. The tune feels absolutely dialed in. Here's another very pleasant surprise we noticed using it daily is that my miles per gallon went up 1 to 2 miles per gallon on the same commutes I do every day. So we've been watching that real close. It feels like, honestly, and I think to myself, okay, how are they squeezing out a little bit more miles per gallon? I think it's just a more efficient, much more dialed in, as I keep mentioning, putting that torque curve right where you need it the most. It's lowered and it's earlier. All the peak power and torque comes on below or at right around 3,000 RPM. So it is just, it's all right where you want it. And like I said, the getting a little bit better fuel economy, of course, is a huge bonus. So far, I've only run the 91 octane and the 93 octane for drivability, and you know, I just absolutely think this tune is flawless. I'm absolutely in love with it. Okay, here's another aspect of the tune that's really nice, is this ability to mid-range punch. So you're rolling along, I'm doing like 50 now, 65, it's just right there with you, everything you need. Lovely, just can find no faults with it. All right, so we're rolling along in some traffic here. Kind of stoplight to stoplight, but you know, one of the things I loved about the 2-liter was it's a very responsive platform. It sort of changes the whole character of driving a Jeep Wrangler. My 3.6 never felt like this on my JK. So now you put this tune on this 2-liter, and everything you loved about the responsiveness, just dial it up. They've given you more. Broader torque curve, more horsepower, turbo spool up is definitely happening a lot sooner. So we just took a great platform and we just dialed it up a little bit and made it even more responsive. Loving that. Okay, it's time to wrap things up on this video. So let's cover a little bit things that we loved about this product, and maybe talk about some things we didn't. So first off, what do we love? We love the increased horsepower, the increased torque. Drivability is so much improved on the 2-liter. You guys are going to love that. We certainly did. Throttle spool up is quicker, comes in earlier. You definitely feel that. I'm hearing that in my intake. The drivability, like I said, the engineers at Superchips had moved the power down they broadened the torque curve, moved it lower in the RPM range, so it's right where you need it. Everything comes in feels like a little less effort. The Jeep just pulls better, feels stronger, feels more robust. In a lot of weird ways, it feels very drivable, very stock. It just took that 2-liter platform, which we loved, and just enhanced everything about it. Transmission shift strategies are improved. You feel that. It holds onto a shift just a little bit longer. It feels like they're set perfectly with what the engine is doing performance-wise. You get maximum of every pull before the shifts happen. The shifts come in just a little bit firmer, too, so you know, it's not jerk your head kind of stuff. Like I said, it feels very smooth, almost like this is something Jeep should have done. And
I'm surprised they didn't, because what Superchip's found in this tune is pretty remarkable, I think. So what else? Oh, here's a pleasant one. We found, and I mentioned this in the video, we got 1 to 2 mile per gallon increase we saw in our normal day-to-day drives. So I'm not sure why. I have a little theory about what might be going on there. Frankly, like I said, I was surprised with the extra power, that we're getting a little extra efficiency. Maybe, just maybe, that the wizards at Superchips found a way to be more efficient with the tune, and therefore they're squeezing out that efficiency. Or maybe I'm making a little more horsepower, a little more torque, and in my day-to-day drives in normal traffic, I'm not really having to push the Jeep that hard. So maybe that's where the efficiency comes from. I don't know. Like I said, that's just my theory. I don't know why, but that was a very pleasant surprise to not only have the increased power, but to see a little bit of efficiency improve as well. So we loved all that. The install on this thing, when I first took a look at it, I thought, could be a little tricky. I hope that this video, if you have any apprehensions about doing this work yourself, that this is not not a hard mod to do at all. Simple hand tools. Their instructions are great. I hope the video provides a lot of help and lets you see that this is not something that is outside the realm of anybody who likes to turn a wrench on their Jeep and can read instructions and follow instructions. So it's all very straightforward. Everything went well for us. I will say customer service is great to talk to the people at Superchips. I had one little hiccup, and that was that after I did the install, Jeep's running fine. I didn't have my my cruise control wouldn't work. So quick call to Superchips. One of the engineers over there gave me a quick thing I needed to do on a reset. Did the reset, works perfectly. So it also was nice because it allowed me to see that the experience of talking to Superchips, should we have a problem or should we encounter some sort of difficulty, they're going to be there to answer questions. So that was all good. Let's see, what else? We talked about the improved performance, improved miles per gallon. The drivability is way up. Feels so much better, so much more robust. We've had the Jeep in traffic. We've had cold weather starts, temperature across the coolant, transmission, oil, all running normal. We see nothing different there. It doesn't ever feel like you're pushing the Jeep or stressing anything too hard. Like I said, it all feels very, very stock almost, but just turned up. They took everything we like about that 2-liter and they just cranked it up a little bit. Cons, I would say, I couldn't find anything wrong with the tune at all. There's nothing I would have said, I kind of wish they had done this and not that. It works that well. It really does. So I'm super happy and will wholeheartedly recommend anybody who's looking for a little extra power and definitely want to get more drivability, a more pleasant drive experience out of their Jeep, take a look at this mod. We add bigger tires, carry a lot more weight, and having a little power back is always a nice thing, right? So if you're on the fence about this one, don't fret or have any anxiety over it's a difficult mod to do, because it's not. You can do it in your driveway like I did, and you're going to absolutely love the performance that it brings to the 2-liter. So back to cons. Cons, I would say, if there was one, you could maybe make an argument if you keep your stock PCM that it's a little bit expensive at around $1,200. But if you're going to swap your PCM out, then you're looking at that somewhere around that $537 range for the tuner. I think is an excellent value for the performance that you're going to get and see with your 2-liter. So that's it for our report on this. Leave me your comments below the video. I would love to hear from you guys. Hope this video has been helpful. We sure do love getting this content out to you. So until next time, stay safe, and we'll see you on the trails. This feels awesome. This thing drives so much better. It's so much more robust.